The most popular song right now across all platforms is a song by Oliver Anthony called "The Rich Man North of Richmond." This song is about the corruption not only of government but of society, and how government carries out wickedness and oppresses its people. His first live concert, he did something amazing, Oliver Anthony. He read from the book of the Psalms, and he read Psalm 37. Let's give him a listen.
I just had something I felt compelled to share with you. This is in Psalm 37, 12 through 20. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow, to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright. But their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. Better the little that have righteousness than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The blameless spend their days under the Lord's care, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster they will not wither. In days of famine they will have plenty. But the wicked will perish. Though the Lord's enemies are like the flowers of the field, they will be consumed, and they will go up in smoke.
Psalm 37 is an absolutely important psalm. In that psalm, we see the contrast between the righteous and the wicked. It's what we call a wisdom psalm. And in that psalm, we're given instruction how to avoid godlessness and how to live a godly life. But as I said there, it contrasts the wicked and the godly. The wicked are described as people who plot against the righteous. They gnash their teeth against the righteous. They seek to do harm to people. You see that in verse 12. In verse 14, they seek to harm people. They draw the sword. They bend their bows. They bring down, they slay people. In verse 32, they seek to put the righteous to death. We see here that the wicked in Psalm 37, they're clearly people of violence who seek to harm people, who seek to carry out violence. But do not fret. God is sovereign. In Psalm 37, we hear a lot about the fate of the wicked. Verse 2, they will fade. Verse 9, they will be cut off. Verse 10, the wicked will be no more. Verse 17, their arms will be broken. Verse 20, the wicked will perish, they will vanish. Verse 34, the wicked will be cut off. Verse 38, the wicked will be destroyed and they will be cut off. Although it might appear that these wicked people are prevailing and ruling over us, they will not last. God will humble them. But in this psalm, we also see two important truths about the Lord that are hardly talked about anymore. First, the holiness of God, and we see this in the fact that God is holy, which means he cannot look upon sin. He's pure, without sin, and then he punishes sinful people. And we see this with the fate of the wicked. But we also see God's sovereignty. In Psalm 37, verse 23, the Lord establishes the steps of man. He is sovereign over them. And most importantly, we also see the blessing of knowing the grace of God. In fact, it says numerous times, 5, that we, the righteous, will inherit the land. Of course, that points us forward to the land and the beautiful place of heaven. And as well, we hear about the salvation of the Lord in Psalm 37, verse 39. Salvation comes from God. It's a gift from God, and he gives it freely to whom he wishes. What does this psalm speak to our hearts very quickly in our North American culture, where we have a corrupt system, a corrupt government, corruption all around? We're to trust Christ alone. And when you trust Christ alone and his work done on the cross, you escape the judgment of God that you deserve for your sin. And then you will have this hope of eternal life, this hope of dwelling with God forever. But if you stay in your sin, all these things that it says about the wicked, you will fade, you will be cut off, you will be no more, your arms will be broken, you will perish, you will vanish, you will cut off, you will be destroyed. That will happen to you if you remain in your rebellion against God. Thanks for watching, and God bless.